What's up, everybody? It's the NFL guy. Welcome again. It's Tuesday. So, let me turn down all my everything. Okay. Let me turn everything down. Um, Hopefully everybody's doing great. Um, this is probably going to be a short live, probably just an hour. I know some nights me and Dadpool have gone on longer. So I am doing the show solo tonight because Dadpool had emergency like something heart surgery or something. So I'm like, wow, that's that's big. So yeah, no Dadpool tonight. I don't know if Dadpool is going to be available next week, but he had surgery today. So I was like, I'll do the show. I was like, should I do the show or should I not do the show? Wait till next Tuesday for touchdown talk. So, it's just me. It's just the NFL guy. So I guess we'll do the recap real quick. Actually, let me get over where there's some more light. So, hold on one second. There we go. All right. Yeah, it's just gonna be me tonight. So, I wish Dadpool could be a part of the show tonight, but like I said, he had to have surgery today, heart surgery. So, hopefully, he's doing all right. So, I actually had a really good week. And if you have any fantasy football questions, want to talk about anything, how your team did this week, definitely request up. Always like when people have been on for the last 10 weeks come back. So I went 12-3 on my picks this week. This is probably the best week so far I had making my NFL picks. So I'm 163, so not bad. I took the Patriots over the Jets. Won on that matchup. 27-14. Patriots is looking really good. Drake May is just playing fantastic. Dolphins over the Commanders. I won on that pick. 16-13. Devon A-Chain. Very big fantasy game for him. I took the Packers over the Giants. Won on that matchup. Packers won 27-20. Josh Jacobs and Jordan Love went out of the game, but Jordan Love came back. Josh Jacobs, if I remember, did not come back. So he's questionable going into this week. I took the Texans over the Titans. Won on that matchup, 16-13. I took the Falcons over the Panthers this week. Lost on that matchup. Panthers won 30-27. Bryce Young had a really good game. It's nice to see Bryce Young have a really good game. My Bears, man, come from behind again. 1917, Cairo Santos with the big field goal. So that was big. Now we got to play the Steelers, so I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is going to play. We'll find out. I took the Chargers over the Jags. Jags won 35-6. This is crazy. Like, I cannot believe the Jaguars blew out the Chargers. I mean, Justin Herbert had a really bad game. Quentin Johnson didn't have nothing in fantasy. I think it was really bad. It was really bad for anybody who was playing the Chargers. I am dropping Justin Herbert this week. I think I'm picking up, who am I picking up? Oh, shoot. I think Jacoby Brissett. I think I'm picking him up instead of Justin Herbert. So I'm kind of done with Justin Herbert for the year. And I think I'm like down at the bottom, like either in last place on that team or above last place. So I had to make some moves. A lot of my teams, it's like I made some major moves or getting rid of players. So I feel like that's with everybody too. it's at the point of the season where you definitely have to look to the waiver wire for some players. My game of the week: Bills and Bucks. High score game. Bills won 44-32. Josh Allen, huge game, fantasy game for him. I took the Bengals over the Steelers. Steelers won 34-12. I took the 49ers over the Cardinals. I won on that matchup 41-22 49ers. I took the Rams over the Seahawks 21-19. I'm dropping Darnold on a few of my teams. I'm giving up on Darnold. I think Jackson Dart. I think I have Jackson Dart on a few of my teams that I have Sam Darnold on. I think Jackson Dart's going to come back this week. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I took the Broncos over the Chiefs. That would have been my upset pick, I guess. So if I had to pick an upset pick, got that right. Broncos won 22-19. Oh, what's wrong with the Chiefs? Are they really going to miss the playoffs this year? Because I don't see them beating the Colts. Early picks for Week 12, I got the Colts over the Chiefs. Man, that'd be insane if the Chiefs miss the playoffs. Let's see. I took the Ravens of the Browns, won in that matchup. It was 23-16. I took the Eagles over the Lions, won in that matchup. Eagles won 16-19. And then I took the Cowboys over the Raiders. 33-16. But yeah, 12-3. I didn't really watch a lot of that. I didn't watch a lot of that game. So if Dadpool was here, he would have commented on your comment, but I didn't really watch that. I kind of was like, do I really want to watch that game? I think I made it a movie night, so I didn't really watch it, but Dadpool had to have heart surgery today, so I'm sure he definitely watched the game. He would definitely respond, but yeah, I just can't believe that the Lions, when I saw the score the next morning, I was like, are you kidding me? The Lions only scored 9 points? I'm like, what? That's unbelievable. Like, I thought it was going to be a shootout, I thought it was going to be something like, maybe like, I don't know, 37-31, maybe like 37-35, something crazy like that, but I just can't believe that the Eagles shut down the Lions. Oh yeah, I think I heard not first take, get up talk about it the other morning. So, but yeah, I think I know what you were talking about. But man, Jahmyr Gibbs, I don't think there was any Lions players that really broke out in fantasy this week. This has been a very weird year for fantasy. It really has. Because a lot of the players that you think should be performing isn't performing. Look what Ashton Genty did. I think he only had like 10 yards the whole game. Just unbelievable. Yeah, because I had golf going. I thought it was going to be a shootout. And it was like a fart in a wind for the Lions. I guess I'll do my picks real quick. And then if anybody wants to request up here in a few minutes, if they want to talk fantasy or talk about how your team did this week. Yeah, even like I thought Gibbs were going to have a big game, and not even like, I think Barkley had 13 fantasy points or something. So my picks for week 12, I'm kind of curious. I don't know, maybe if Dadpool's feeling better before the weekend, we might do a show, but I don't know if he's going to. I don't know how he's doing or anything, but real quick, I'll go down. I'm sure he's taking the Bills. He's a Bills fan, Dadpool. So I'm taking the Bills over the Texans. There's no CJ Stroud. So David Mills is going again. So I feel like it's going to be another big game by Josh Allen. I got the Colts over the Chiefs. I do not see the Chiefs. Hey, what's up, Buffalo Bills? The Bills Mafia is in the house. Yes, definitely good win. Yep, good win. I picked the Bills. I just wish Dadpool was here. He would conversate with you. Dadpool's a diehard Bills fan. Whoop! What the heck? Jalen Hurts had a 63 quarterback rating. Jeez, that's terrible. Who else had a bad one? There was somebody else. Oh, I think it was Sam Darnold. Like his quarterback rating was terrible too. But yeah, I got the Colts over the Chiefs this week. I've got the Seahawks over the Titans. I think the Seahawks is going to bounce back this week. I've got the Packers over the Vikings, even though Josh Jacobs is questionable. I still see the Packers getting this win. I've got the Ravens over the Jets. I feel like this could be a blowout. Zay Flowers is going to have a good fantasy game. I think Mark Andrews is going to have a good fantasy game. I think this could be Derrick Henry's best fantasy football game of the year. I think the Ravens are going to win big. I've got Detroit over the Giants. Jackson Dart's questionable. I think if I knew... No, I think even if he was still playing, if I knew 100% he was playing, I think I would have still took the Lions. I've got my Bears over the Steelers. My Bears continue to get it done. Very big question marks about Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if he's going to play. I did hear on PTI, or not PTI, pardon the interruption, that he's going to try to play. He really wants to play in this game. I would rather be facing Mason Rudolph, honestly. But I like my Bears in this matchup. I've got the Patriots over the Bengals. Drake Mace going to get it done again. This one was a hard one. Raiders or the Browns? Oh, God. Boy, I think I'm going to lose this matchup. But I went with the Raiders. I'm hoping Ashton Genty bounces back. I mean, we're going to do a show towards after the Super Bowl, and we're going to talk about fantasy players you should stay away from and fantasy players maybe you should grab right away in the first round. But once the Super Bowl's over, we'll do a show. And then I think we're going to just do since I'm the movie guy and I'm a diehard movie fan and I love talking about movies, and I'm always doing movie videos, we're going to do a movie live podcast on TikTok until football season starts again. But I got the Raiders. I don't know. I think, like I said, I think Ashton Genty is going to have a decent game. He'll have a bounce back game. Bowers is going to have a good game. I've got the Cardinals over the Jags. I like Jacoby Brissett, what he's doing. Wilson, Dortch. Dortch had 18 fantasy points. If you need a receiver on the waiver wire, I would try picking up like Wilson or Dortch, or even pick up both if you can. Lions against the Bills in Super Bowl. Ooh, that'd be a good one. I like that. I like that matchup. I like that matchup a lot. I had who'd I have? I had the Ravens, and let's see, before the season started, I had the Ravens and the Eagles as my Super Bowl. But I think I had the Eagles winning because I said that Lamar Jackson's whole playoff, you know, like what's the word I'm trying to think of? Well, just not this is not the word, but Lamar Jackson in the playoffs is a dumpster fire. So I feel like he was going to get it done to the Super Bowl, but that dumpster fire was gonna happen in the Super Bowl because I was thinking maybe that's going to happen to him in the Super Bowl and the Eagles win again. My dark horse, I can't remember. I know I wrote it down. I want to say it. I know I went with the Bills, and I think I did go with the Lions. Let me think. I think it was. I think it was. I think it was the Bills and the Lion was my dark horse, was my second matchup. And I had the Bills winning. Let's see, where did I stop? Okay, I've got the Eagles over the Cowboys. This could be the game of the week. I think this is my game of the week. This could be a really good game. I think this is going to be interesting. Big division game. It's going to be interesting how this shapes up. I just can't believe this game's not a Monday Night Football game. Like, I'm really shocked by that. I got the Saints over the Falcons. Both of these teams, you just never know what you're going to get. And with the Falcons, I mean, I think this is going to be... I don't think this is going to be a very exciting game at all. So, I think the Saints pull it out close. I got the Rams over the Bucks. My former Notre Damer, Kyron Williams, having a great year. Puka, Devontae Adams. This could be like, this could be a shootout. This could be a really, really, really good game. And then I've got the 49ers over the Panthers. Even though I kind of wanted to go with the Panthers as like the upset, but Brock's playing. You got Christian McCaffrey. It's going to be interesting. I might actually watch this game Monday night. I don't think I have anything going on Monday night. I don't think there's any movies I want to see. So, but anyway, yeah, I would love to hear Dadpool's picks, but like I said, he had surgery, so he's not available this week. He's been going through a lot of stuff health-wise, so hopefully he'll feel better, and hopefully he'll be on the show next week. But yeah, if anybody wanted to request up and talk fantasy, talk about how your team did, definitely request up. Oh, here we go. Hey, what's up? How's it going?
Good, good. How you doing? You talking football tonight?
Yep, talking football, talking fantasy.
Oh, word. Okay, okay. It's my type of convo. Yeah, I don't really got nothing special to talk about. I kind of talk about what's going on and shit. Whatever you want to talk about and shit. Fucking, fucking. What you like this week?
Yeah. You mean for like football or like?
Yeah, football and shit. Like what games? Who's your picks?
Oh yeah, I just went through all my picks. I think the Eagles and Cowboy game is going to be pretty good. I think that's going to be I think that should be an interesting big division matchup game. Could be a high score game too.
Yeah, that's probably going to be the national game. If I had to imagine, that's what's like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
425 game, and that's in Dallas. Yeah, yeah, that's probably
Yeah,
going to
I'm
be
kind
the
of
national game.
yeah, I'm surprised that's not because I don't even think that's the Sunday night football game. Um, it's like I think it's the 425 game.
Yeah, that's the
Um,
425.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just really surprised they didn't see that matchup and put that on Monday night or Sunday night.
I don't know. They got Tampa Bay, LA for the Sunday
Yeah,
night,
that's a
and
good
then they got
matchup. That's a good matchup. I
yeah.
think that could be a high score game too.
Honestly, I think Tampa Bay, a healthy Tampa Bay, is probably the team to beat in the NFC. But I think that's my pick for the Super Bowl. If I a healthy, if
Oh wow, Tampa
healthy,
Bay.
yeah, huh?
You said Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl?
A healthy if Tampa Bay can get healthy and get all their players on the field at the same
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
they can go to the Super Bowl. I think I mean you just saw what they did with Buffalo. I mean they've been hanging points on boys all
Oh
year,
yeah.
and they don't even have their weapons. Like Chris Godwin and Mike Evans can't stay on the field at the same
Yeah.
time to save their life. It happens every
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
And then the running backs out. I think they got
Bucky
Rasheed Rice.
Irving. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that because that Abuka edition was insane and fucking like he really can't be stopped. You throw Chris Godwin, Mike Evans out there with
Yeah.
Bucky Irvin, Rasheed Rice, and Kate Otten,
Yeah.
and like they're dangerous. I think they can score on anybody, and I think they can beat anybody. And I feel
Yeah. I
like
do too. When they're healthy, when they're
and
very
I feel
healthy,
like
they're very dangerous.
I have to say I feel like the strongest teams are in the NFL or in the NFC. I'm a
Mm.
Steelers fan, by the way, so I'm in the
Oh
AFC. I'm
boy.
talking from a non-biased point of view and shit. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I feel like the strongest
Yeah.
teams in the NFL are in the NFC between Detroit, Philadelphia, Tampa Bay, and the Rams, and even
Yeah.
Seattle's. I wouldn't be so quick to say Seattle, but yeah,
Yeah.
I
See, I
think
mean, look who Seattle was facing, though. I mean, it was like I still like Sam Darnold. Like I think Seattle's still a kind of like a dark horse, dangerous team. Um, but yeah, I mean, some teams are going to be like that, like up and down, like just like a couple weeks ago, like you had no idea that the Browns, like nobody expected the Browns to beat the Packers earlier in the season. Like I
yeah,
did
yeah, yeah,
that, so it just
yeah.
kind of,
No one.
it's just how good you play. It's like, but yeah, like
Yeah,
I
it's any
totally
given
agree.
Sunday.
Yeah,
But you got to remember too, like there's a lot of these teams. New England's another team that
yeah,
has a real easy schedule. They have a below
yeah,
500 schedule. So when you look at like how schedules are made, that it's based off seeding.
yeah,
You have your four division or your six division games. Basically it comes up to an extra 2 games a year based off where you seed,
yeah,
or 3 games, extra 3 games a year. Actually, I'm sorry, three extra 3 games. So if you're a 3 seed, you know what I mean. I'll say you'll have 9 games
hmm,
against below 500 teams, and then 8 games, above 500 teams. So you get that benefit of having a
yeah.
lopsided this
Yeah, I feel
whenever
yeah. It's I feel like this is the one season where it's just like you really don't know yet who is even going to
yeah,
be in the Super Bowl. I mean, it all comes down to the playoffs. I mean, like Denver's playing great. The Patriots is a
yeah,
surprise. Drake May's getting it done. Stephon Diggs is becoming a relative receiver again. I mean,
yeah,
my Bears are looking good. I mean, don't count out Detroit. Don't count out Green Bay. Dallas is coming around, but Dallas has got such a hard schedule. They have the Eagles and then Kansas City and then the Lions. Man.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
The-
so yeah, I still feel like it's up for grabs. It's
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I'd say a little less likely up for grabs in the NFC as opposed to like the AFC. And the AFC,
yeah,
you're probably like five. You're competing with
yeah,
teams like 5-5. I'd say.
yeah,
And NFC is a little harder. I think
yeah,
the lowest wild card is probably like a 7-win team, or,
yeah,
or, or a 6-win team or something
yeah.
like that. So it's a little bit harder to snag that number 7. But yeah, uh, I'm with you. In the AFC, it's hard to say. Like I say, New England. I
Yeah,
don't
New
think
England. I mean, yeah,
I,
New England's. Yeah,
it's. I don't think they could. I'd say I don't. I gotta watch how they play against good teams.
yeah,
Like like they surprised me with a win over Buffalo. That was so they did good there. But
yeah,
until they can. I gotta see how they fare against good teams. Seattle was one of those too. We just saw them. They had that easy schedule. We just saw them against the Rams, and although they played a close one, so you just gotta watch how those teams with easier schedules fare against the
Mhm.
harder teams, and not be like overwhelmed that they're doing good with an easier type schedule. So there's a couple of those teams. The Denver pick though, man, they're the ones that are kind of like, okay, you guys are excelling. I mean, and
Yeah.
I'm still not sold on Denver, but I mean,
Yeah.
they're winning.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're getting it done. I mean, um, do you think the Ravens make a late run? Do you think the Ravens get in? You think they approve somehow? They squeeze in or to the
Oh yeah,
playoffs?
they win the division. They're pretty close. It really boils down to the Pittsburgh games and how and but they played the bulk of their hard games early in the season, so they got like not as hard teams going down the stretch. Whereas Pittsburgh, we still got two games against Baltimore. We still got Detroit on the schedule,
Tough.
and somebody else. What I mean? So we're probably going to come in somewhere around 9-7. I have
Hmm.
to say, where
Yeah.
Baltimore might be able to squeak out a 10, or hit
Yeah.
9-7 and have the tiebreakers. So
Yeah.
Baltimore they can still win the division type
Yeah.
scenario. So they'll be in there. Buffalo's going to be in there. New
Oh
England's going
yeah.
to be in there.
Yeah.
Denver's going to be in there. Uh,
I
it's
think
that.
Denver is the one that seemed. Yeah, I think Denver could cool down or trail off a little
Yeah.
bit. I don't know if the Colts are going to, but I think like Denver. I think Denver could. I think Denver's a
Well,
team that could be like just misses the playoffs, or I don't know.
no, Denver ain't missing the playoffs. They've like already accumulated 9 wins. 9 wins is going to get you in the playoffs, and they've already accumulated 9. So
Yeah.
you might as well call them there and shit. It's just a matter of whether or not they're going to win the division type of vibe. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
I think the Chargers will probably get in. They already have 7 wins because there's what like 6 games left or something like that. So you only got to win 2 or 3 more to get in. Those teams that only got to win, it's like Jacksonville, who's like 6-4 right now that you got to worry
Mhm.
about, and I mean, they're hanging on by a thread type teams. But yeah, the top 6 teams, they should all be in there.
Yeah.
Everybody else. Same thing in the NFC. Well, the NFC, I'd say the 7 seed, the 6 and 7 seed, that's still a little bit more of a race because you even got teams
Mhm.
like Carolina
Yeah.
coming in the mix, but they'll fizzle out.
Yeah.
The Bears are an interesting one. They're it's how they fare against the Minnesota and Detroit and Green
Yeah.
Bay to
Because
remain in it.
yeah, we still got Green Bay twice. Um, I would rather, man, I don't know. I don't know who I'd rather face. I think it'd be more of an interesting, like, always matchup if Aaron Rodgers goes, but I feel like it's going to come down to like the day before to find out if Rodgers going to go or if Mason Rudolph
Oh, I
goes.
I think Rogers. I think Rogers is out. I think I'm not sure, but I think he's going to be out for a couple of weeks from what
Yeah.
I've been hearing. But they haven't made. I don't think they've made an announcement on that. But that's right. Pittsburgh does have Chicago this week.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know,
Definitely. Yep.
that's at Chicago. That one's at Chicago too. That's a
Yep.
must win
Yep.
for
It's
Pittsburgh.
over. Yep. Yep. We play you guys at Chicago. Yep.
Yeah, I think both. It's a must win for both them teams. To be
Yeah,
honest, both them
definitely.
teams,
I totally
or
agree. Yeah,
or,
it's definitely.
or it's a one. You might get a benefit though. You might get Mason Rudolph.
It's a
But Chicago's doing all
possibility.
right.
It's a possibility.
Yeah,
We're gonna get somebody.
Mason can ball though. Don't man, listen,
Yeah.
man. Mason been riding that bench for like 7 years and shit. Besides, we trade him. He just came back this year, but before that, he been on the bench forever. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
he's familiar with the offense. He can win you some. He can win you. He can't just win it. He can't hold you down for a whole season, but he could definitely hold you down for a game or two,
Hmm.
100%. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
You know,
Definitely. It's going to be an interesting game.
you sports bet at all?
No, I haven't. I was thinking about doing a little bit this year, but then I was like, no, I haven't really got around to yet. I haven't
That's
really.
fun. Yeah, yeah, it passes the time. Something interesting to do on Sundays.
Yeah.
Yeah, you pay attention to college ball at all?
What's that?
You pay attention to college ball at
Oh,
all?
yeah, I like college. Yeah. Yeah, when I can watch my Irish play. But I'm
You
always
like the
working on
Irish?
Saturdays, so
Yeah, they was just in time this week against Pitt. They got the W.
yeah, yeah, they got to win out. So,
Yeah, we gonna see. I don't think Notre Dame's that good, me personally. You know, but they shocked me last year with how far they made it. Every week I kept thinking that team was gonna get eliminated, and they didn't and shit. And
I think
they
Notre
made it
Dame's
all the way.
got, I think we've got one of the best college football players in the nation with Jeremiah Love. Um,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
That's all. Like you
yeah,
ain't really ain't got no QB, and you ain't got no receivers. But
Carson hasn't
Jeremiah
been
Love
playing
is,
too bad. It's a good 1-2 mashup between Jeremiah Love and Price. So,
yeah, yeah.
but
We're it's gonna be hard though, man. Like even
yeah,
like
yeah,
I don't know. Even like I would put you even like a Texas. If I put you up against like a Texas who's going to be out of the playoffs, I think
yeah, yep,
it's
yep,
hard to see. It's
yeah,
hard to see me putting you guys as the favorite in that one. You know, that's
yeah,
just you
yeah.
guys
Because
are
I
one of
think
those teams. To, uh,
yeah. So I think we're on pace to play Oregon, and then play Ohio State in the second round. Oh my God, it's like,
yeah,
ugh.
Oregon you might get. Oregon's doable. Oregon, you know, they already showed that they can be beaten and
Yeah,
whatnot, and they didn't really play anybody. They only had like two hard games on their schedule, and the one was the
hmm,
Penn State game where they won, but then they lost to Indiana, I think. So yeah,
yeah.
they're not and the rest of their schedule was cupcake. So Oregon is doable. I think you could possibly. It
I'm
depends if you
hoping.
get them. Unless you got to go to Oregon. If you got to go to Oregon, then nah. If it's up in if
Mhm.
it's at Notre Dame, then yeah, that's
Yeah,
doable. You could,
yeah, yep.
you know,
That would be interesting.
yeah.
That would be
But
very
Ohio
interesting.
State though, that's a whole that's where I think that's where the buck stops though, if I had to
Yeah,
guess. You know,
pretty much.
like yeah, I think it stops for everybody with Ohio State this year, to be honest.
Yeah,
You know, I don't think there's no I think they're gonna go back to back.
it's a possibility. It's whoever plays good in the playoffs. Exactly.
Yeah, but I think college football is becoming more interesting than the pros, to be honest with you.
Yeah, because I think there's always a chance for more upsets.
Yeah, well,
So
when you have well, now with the playoff system and the rankings mean more. Like every time there's a rankings matchup, it's like a playoff game almost.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And if you lose your spot in the rankings, and
yeah,
people are constantly getting eliminated, and
hmm,
people are constantly getting upset, and that thing's fluid, and you know, and the games seem to mean more in that environment. You know, like I find myself every week watching college and being like, wow, that was exciting. And,
yeah,
and and then Sunday comes along and you're just like, oh well, I was all I had a good day yesterday. I really don't even care if the NFL's on type of
yeah,
vibe.
yeah,
You end up like kind of like I'll check out the Steelers and maybe if it's
yeah,
like a Kansas City Buffalo game type of vibe. But
hmm,
you know you're not as interested as much as yeah. I think college is taking over me personally.
yeah. I think there's like, I think there's fans that are that prefer college football over NFL, and there's obviously people that prefer NFL over college. So I think you're definitely get a mix of different opinions on that. But I like both. I definitely like both. So
Yeah, yeah. Hey, well, listen, not to cut you short, but I'm gonna go ahead
yeah.
and jump off here,
All
man. Man,
right.
I
Thanks for coming up. Hope
appreciate
you
you
have a
bringing
wonderful
me up.
night.
Hey, you as well.
All right. Take care.
All right. Hey.
All right. Let's see. Sorry, everybody. I just saw that people were sending me stuff in the comments. Um, Let me scroll up a little bit. If you're still in here, I'm sorry. Um, is CMC Diggs and Sutton for Chase Brown, Swift, and Nico Collins a good deal? So are you still in here? I don't know if you're still in here, but let's see. CMC Diggs and Sutton for Chase Brown, Swift, and Nico. Wow. I mean, if you're getting Christian McCaffrey, Diggs is really good. Diggs is like I said, Diggs is becoming a receiver again. Cortland Sutton is decent. So yeah, I would definitely would rather, excuse me, would rather have Christian McCaffrey, Diggs, and Sutton than Chase Brown, Swift, and Nico. It said they better not lie on the injury report like the Ravens did with Lamar. Oh, you're talking about the Steelers? I can't. I mean, obviously, being a Bears fan, I can't stand Rodgers, but I feel like it's a. I don't want to say be more meaningful game, but I feel like it means more for us Bear fans knowing that we beat the Steelers with Aaron Rodgers than Mason Rudolph. Let's see. Don't do parlays, only straight bets. Okay, I'll keep that in mind if I do any sports bets. But I haven't done anything. Yeah, I haven't done any. I was thinking about it. My friend, he's like, man, I have a gambling problem on FanDuel. But he's actually hit some big. He's hit, I think he made, I don't know what he did. He was telling me a couple weeks ago he made like 4 or 5 bets and turned something into almost like $600. I was like, holy Jesus. I was like, I need to jump on that. Like, make little small bets, maybe like $10 bets. It's like, it would be like me at the casino, when I do go. Like, I don't take anything more than $100. Like, I don't take maybe 110, but yeah, I would not take anything over $100 if I went to a casino. You just play what you can afford to lose. Even if it's like I turned $3 into $25 or $30, it's a profit. I mean, you got a little bit extra money. I mean, that's like, hey, I don't feel like cooking tonight. I'm going to go to Taco Bell or McDonald's or Burger King or get pizza or something. So, hey, that's extra money. So, but I don't know. I might try to do some basketball. Maybe I don't know. Maybe if they have Super Bowl ones, maybe I'll try to make like a few little bets on the Super Bowl. But we'll probably go until like 8 o'clock here, possible. If anybody else wants to request up, talk fantasy. Are you hitting the panic button? Sorry, I gotta take my laundry out. Are you hitting the panic button on a lot of your NFL teams? I feel like this is the week where people are just like, okay, I need to make a change, like big time, either like 2 or 3 waiver wire pickups, or, there's some people I've seen that will do 5 or 6 waiver wire pickups. So, it just kind of depends where you're at. I know I went like 5-14 this week in fantasy. It was a bad week. Very bad week in fantasy. I mean, for the teams that I did win on, I'm like maybe in 4th, 3rd place. There's one team I am in 1st place. So I think the Lions messed me up with Jahmyr Gibbs and Amon St. Brown. Ashton Genty messed me up this week in fantasy. I don't have him, but on one team. Darnold was a big one. Tez Johnson. Rockched White was a big one. So yeah, it was a rough week in fantasy. It was a very rough week for me in fantasy football. Basketball, fantasy basketball, I'm doing okay, but oh my gosh, if anybody plays fantasy basketball, like, it is rough. I mean, it's bad. Like, Wembanyama is out for like 3 to 4 weeks. Giannis is now out for 2 weeks. LeBron's coming back tonight, which is good. I have LeBron on 2 of my teams, but I didn't go crazy and get LeBron in every team. Let's see what else. Colby White's hurt. I've got him on multiple teams. I really like him as a player. I got I'm a Celtics fan, so I've got Jason Tatum on the IR. The earliest he could come back is after the All-Star game. Let's see who else is hurt. Kyrie's hurt. Cam Thomas is hurt. Jalen Green is hurt. God, like, one of my teams, it's like, I have like literally like 7 players that are either day-to-day or is out. It's crazy, the amount of injuries. And fantasy hockey, I'm actually doing pretty good. Usually fantasy hockey, I mean, I'm a big Blackhawks fan. But fantasy hockey, I'm doing pretty good. So usually hockey, I don't do very well. But this year, it's a good year for fantasy hockey. But, yeah, like I was saying earlier in the show, if you are hitting the panic button, players to pick up, if you need a quarterback, Jacoby Brissett, I think, is a way to go. I think that's a good quarterback pickup. Wilson for the Cardinals is a good pickup with Marvin Harrison Jr. out, but it seems like Marvin Harrison Jr. might be back next week. There's a possibility. So now it's kind of like, you know, do I really keep Dortch? I probably will drop him once Marvin Harrison comes back, because it'll probably be Wilson and Marvin Harrison Jr. I don't know about Gainwell. Like, I don't know if Gainwell's is a great pickup. Maybe this week against my Bears. I don't know, unless my Bears shut down Gainwell, but they really couldn't shut down Mason and Aaron Jones. When I was watching that game, I was like, oh my gosh. Go figure, I drop Aaron Jones and he's having a decent game. But I think, I don't know what Aaron Jones did, but I know like Jordan Mason had like 10 fantasy points or 11 fantasy points. I'm trying to think who else. Someone actually dropped Roma Doomsday, which I couldn't believe. So I ended up picking him up last week. I'm trying to think if there was any. I dropped Mike Evans as much as I didn't want to. I just don't. I feel like if he does come back, I think Mike Evans is going to come back like in the playoffs. I don't think they're going to play Mike Evans at all anymore for the regular season, but I think they're going to keep him for the playoffs because the Bucks winning. If they're in playoff contention, I see no need to bring back Mike Evans when you have Ibuka and you have Godwin, and you have Tez Johnson. You know, you got Otto, who could be a good receiver option at tight end, but um, ah, I kind of give up on Quentin Johnson. Um, can't remember Charbonnet. I kind of gave up on. I gave up on Kenneth Walker, and I always select Kenneth Walker, and I don't know what's going on. I mean, he had 20 points last week, so I did pick him up. Um, Chuba Hubbard, I end up dropping because I think Dottle is the starter now. I think Dottle is more of a fantasy relative running back that you should play each week unless he's hurt. So yeah, it's kind of almost like that situation. It's like, do I pull the plug on this player or that player? And it's like hard decisions. I mean, it's sometimes I'll sit there with one team and just being like, "Oh my god, what do I even do? Do I drop him? Am I pulling?" You know, it's like, ugh. But I mean, sometimes you got to make changes, you know. And I don't make a lot of trades. It seems like all the trades I do put, like they either get canceled or something. But I thought I always put good packages together. But I don't know. I don't know. It's been a very up and down year for fantasy football. I mean, not just for me, it's for everybody, you know. So, um, but my fantasy strategy is, and I stick to this every year. I always go running back and running back is my first two picks because I love the running back position. It's my favorite position in football is a running back. So I like to have two solid starters because you can get solid receivers like late. The receiver core is just more than running backs. Once you get to like the fourth round, fifth round, you're basically drafting backups unless somebody fell. Like for me, Javonte Williams fell super late, and I picked up Javonte Williams on a few teams. I mean, George Pickens was there super late. Like I'm talking like eighth, ninth round. Mike Evans. Everybody always sleeps on Mike Evans, and it seems like I always end up with Mike Evans like super late. So, but I always go running back, and then I go receiver, receiver. So third round receiver, fourth round receiver, and then the fifth round is when I get my quarterback. So fifth round this year, I was getting. I had Burrow. That was a mistake. Fifth round quarterbacks, I got Patrick Mahomes. I got Jalen Hurts in the fifth round. I got Jared Goff in the fifth round on one of my teams. I got Baker a lot. People always sleep on Baker, which just drives me nuts. But and then like the sixth round, I'll get my tight end. So, but it's hard to say like I'm gonna go after this player or after that player. But obviously, if I'm in the first three picks next year, and like I said, me and Dadpool's gonna do a after season fantasy live on TikTok here and talk about people you should definitely target like right away. And obviously, quarterback, everybody always drafts a quarterback super early, and that's they like fantasy analysts always says that's the biggest mistake you could do. You want to build your depth. You want to make sure you have a solid bench and good starters going. So like in my work league this year, I had the ninth pick and I had the was it the last pick? Yeah, I had the 10th pick. I had the very last pick, and then I had the next pick in the second round. So with my 10th pick, I select Kyron Williams. I love Kyron Williams. And then I end up getting Amon St. Brown in the second round, the first pick in the second round. And then I got Derrick Henry in the third or fourth round. And I could just say this right now, do not draft Derrick Henry. I think he's getting to the point now where he's becoming like fantasy on relative. I mean, he might put up a good games, but I'd say like there was a point one of my drafts, I think like Derrick Henry was there in the fourth, fifth round, so I picked him up. I'm like, okay, I'll get him. But I would, yeah, if he's there super late and you need like a third running back and he's there, I would take him. But I don't think Derrick Henry's like a first or second option, because I feel like if you're drafting in the first round, you're gonna get like, I mean, I stayed away from CMC because I had him last year and he got injured. I had him for the very first time and he got injured, and he screwed me over big time in my work league. So, but maybe next year I'll target maybe Christian McCaffrey and Jonathan Taylor and stuff and everything. So, but anyway, yeah, it's just been a very up and down year for fantasy football. So, but, and the worst thing about fantasy football too is like losing by like 3 or 4 points or even like 1 point. It's like, oh my God. That's like the worst heartbreak ever. Where it's like, I'm going to start him. I don't think he's going to do anything. And then like one of your bench players ends up blowing up for like 19 fantasy points. And you're just like, oh my God, I should have started him. Let's see. Oh, hey, what's up? Okay, I'll bring up. Oh, Joker the Clown, did you invite up? Sorry. I tried to bring you up. But anyway, yeah. If anybody wants to request up, talk about how they're doing in fantasy or what team they like and talk about your team, definitely request up. I'm going to go until 8 o'clock, I think. Usually I do the show at 8, but I did it early. Hey, what's up? How's it going?
Doing good. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, so
Oh, big
yeah.
win.
This is
Big win
this is
for them.
yeah, yeah. We won. We won. We beat the Raiders finally. So
I knew I like when I did my picks, I'm like, oh yeah, Cowboys are gonna win. You guys got a tough schedule coming up. Man, it's rough.
I know it. Let me tell you. Let me ask you a question. I don't care if they hear me this in your life, but I'm gonna respect your life anyway. So I don't think the Eagles are gonna go all the way in. I don't think so. It's not gonna happen.
You don't think though? Who you think's coming who's gonna represent the NFC?
I think the Chiefs, because the Chiefs have a chance. You know, they usually pull it through in the Super Bowl. You know, they take them out all the time. You know what I'm saying? They could happen. Chiefs could happen. You know.
Oh, but you say that the Eagles are still gonna get the Super Bowl but not win?
I don't think so. Because you know, the last time we played them, you know, they beat us in the Super Bowl. They did. The Eagles and the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying?
So
But
you so you think it's gonna be Chiefs and who's coming out of the NFC?
not the Cowboys because we're not there yet. You know what I'm saying? We still got to play 3 more games. You know, we got whole lot of season for us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to beat the Lions, the Commanders, the
I
Giants.
hope you beat the Lions. We need you to guys to beat the Lions.
Anyway, so this is only my backup account because my other account got banned because we were just playing around with people in the live and somebody banned my account anyway. So that's why I get it back.
Oh, that
Yeah,
sucks.
yeah. Anyways, you know how that goes. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how are you been? I've been seeing you live. I've been seeing you. That you've been having a lot of people and asking you what is the fantasy like who's gonna be in it. Everybody.
Yeah. You, my co-host, he had to have heart surgery today, so my co-host that's usually on, so he's not on tonight. So I'm just doing a solo show. But yeah, we always do like our picks and stuff, and we talk fantasy and bring people up and stuff. So
You
yeah,
know
we've
my
been doing the show for since the first week. So every
Yeah, let me
Tuesday.
tell you, my thought for the Super Bowl. Let me tell you, I think we're gonna be the same thing like we were the Cowboys last year. I think we're gonna be 5-6. That's my predicament right there. If we
Hmm.
don't make it, it'll be another next year. You know what I'm saying? We can do it another next year. You know what I'm saying? If we don't get in it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean Dallas has got a good team. I mean, getting
Yes.
Pickens and like Javante Williams was just great pickups for Dallas.
Let me ask.
Um,
Let me ask you a question because all the Eagle fans saying that they don't take Dak Prescott over Jalen Hurts. I said Dak Prescott's been the quarterback for the Cowboys. What are you talking about? He's not a top 10. You know what I'm saying? Dak Prescott is a top 10 for the Cowboys. You know, he's been around for the Cowboys. You know,
top 10.
I'll give him a top 10 because he's the best quarterback. You know, he never made any mistakes. He did one time when we played. Remember we played the Arizona. We lost to Arizona. That was a mistake because Dak Prescott should never throw interceptions. You know, Dak Prescott doesn't have the moves to do that, but he could do it if they hit him. You know what I'm saying? They can knock him out, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Knock the ball from his hand. You know. I don't know, man. I just feel
Yeah,
like
I think he's probably maybe like 9 or I think he squeezed into the top 10.
yeah, but not Jalen Hurts. I don't think so. No, he doesn't have the stacks like Dak Prescott. You know what I'm saying?
You don't think Jalen Hurts a top 10 quarterback?
No, I give him like a 5 or 6. You know what I'm saying? Because he doesn't run the ball.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I thought you were saying like top 10 quarterback in the NFL right now.
No, I don't think so. Because
Oh.
remember the Eagles are 8-2. You know what I'm saying? They don't have like the Cowboys 5 rings. You know what I'm saying? They're not there yet. You know what I'm saying? They got to get there first. You know, they got to have 5 Super Bowl rings. You know what I'm saying? They don't have that yet. You know, they only have like 2 rings. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I honestly I hope the Chiefs might even make it to the playoffs. I mean, the way they're going, if the
Exactly. Right?
Colts if Colts beats them Sunday, it's time to hit the panic button.
Exactly. And I wanted the Lions to win that day, but hey, the Lions couldn't pull it through because they didn't have no defense. You know what I'm saying? Most of the
Yeah.
players are out. That's why they lost to the Eagles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It will be definitely interesting if like the Chiefs do not make it in the playoffs.
Exactly.
I
Right.
think that would just be crazy, but
But we know week 12, we got to play the Eagles, and then we got to play the Chiefs on Thanksgiving. That's going to be a no-no. We're not going to win on the Chiefs, you know. We're not going to win.
oh man, I don't know.
I don't know, but
I got the
yeah.
uh, I
Right, it's
think
hard.
hmm, I think I got the Eagles beating Dallas this week. I got the Eagles, but I would pick probably Dallas over the Chiefs.
Exactly, right? Well, let me
I
ask
don't
you a
know.
question. Yeah, let me ask you a question. If we do beat the Eagles, if we have a chance, if Dallas can pull it through, you know what I'm saying? Like the
I
Raiders,
mean,
if they
it's a
can.
possibility. I mean, I wouldn't count Dallas out.
No, I wouldn't.
Um,
No, 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 not yet. It's not there yet. You know, we still got to play Thanksgiving. You know, we still got to play 3 games. You know, we're not out yet. You know what I'm saying? We got to be in that spot. You know.
yeah, I think they win. I think they lose this week. I think I probably pick Dallas over the Chiefs. The Lions, I don't know. I
No,
can't even like to even fathom that who to go with.
because I really bet on the Lions the other day. I bet $20 to my neighbor. I'm like, hey, they're gonna beat the Eagles. Nope, he's an Eagles fan, so I had to give him 20. So because I took the Lions, I wanted to win the Lions, but they gave me up. They gave me up. You know, they didn't get it.
Oh,
Yeah, they
is that at Detroit or is that at Dallas? Do you know?
that was in Detroit. I think it was in. I think it was in Philly. They play up in Philly. I think that's what they were
No, I
playing.
mean like when you guys play Detroit after Kansas City. Is that at Detroit or are they at Dallas?
I think we play a home game. The Chiefs. We play a home game. We
Oh,
play the Eagles. Will play home, and then the Chiefs will play at home.
oh man, if it's at Detroit, I probably would lean towards Detroit. But after Detroit laid a goose egg on the
The
Eagles, just
Eagles.
played like crap, I could totally see Dallas beating Detroit in
Exactly
three
right.
weeks.
I just don't know. I don't know whether I don't know who the Lions are missing. I think they're missing their QBs. That's what I'm thinking because I don't know. It's just kind of hard. Our division, you know, college football is like football. You know, my
Yeah.
my team we lost to BYU last week, and they took us out of the spot. You know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
we're supposed to be 7 and 8. Nope, they took us out of the spot. I like college because it's doing really good right now. You know, Alabama's who's all in it on the college football right now? But
Oh, you mean
Alabama,
like playoffs?
yeah, in the playoffs, they're in it. Everybody's in.
I mean, obviously Ohio State, Oregon,
Yeah.
my Irish.
I don't think BYU is not going to be in it. I don't think there's no way they're going to be in it. There's no way, no way.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you said something because I can remember turn on ESPN because I know the college football playoff updated thing. Standings is going to be coming on at I think 8 o'clock.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna give you a follow. Is that okay? Because you sound nice. Every time I'm gonna go
Oh
live.
yeah, definitely give me a follow. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you can. Yeah, we always do the show on Tuesday. So if you pop back in next week, Dadpool should be on, so you can give him a follow. He's
Yeah.
definitely big into NFL and college football too. So
Who's your team? Who's your football team? Who's your football team?
I am a diehard Bears fan, and I am a big diehard Notre Dame fan.
Okay, let me ask you a question. I know the 49ers are saying that they're going to go. There's no way the 49ers are going to make it. They're not going to make it, the 49ers. They're not. No, they're not.
You mean like
Going to
to
the
the
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Ugh,
I don't know.
yeah.
They're kind
I
of
don't. Nobody can stay healthy
exactly.
for.
Look at my Dallas. They said that
You
we were going to lose last year. Look what happened. We're building up our team. That's what we wanted to do. Dallas. We got better young rookies. Better. Good
yeah,
players. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. I don't. Yeah, because that's like nobody can stay healthy for the 49ers. So it just depends. I know it just depends. I mean, I don't see them in the Super Bowl, but I could see them, in the playoffs and everything, but I
Well,
don't see
that's
them getting
why.
to the Super Bowl.
That's what we usually play the 49ers. Remember last year? I don't know if you remember last year. The 49ers took us out of the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah,
what we used to. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah,
Cowboys, yes.
yeah.
Anyways, well, nice to meet you. I'm not taking your time. Well, you
Oh
have a
yeah,
good
no,
night.
you're good. You're good. Yeah, hopefully, thanks for popping in. Hopefully, you have a good night.
Yeah, I'll be watching. And
Okay.
if I ask a question, you ask me, okay? Thank
Okay,
you.
sure. Yeah, no
Thank you.
problem. All
Thank
right,
you.
cool. Thanks.
Bye-bye. Bye.
All right, see you later. Yeah, it just feels really weird that I do the show. Sometimes I hate doing the show solo. I always like, because it's like I always try to. Well, me and Dadpool, we have different categories, and we haven't really done them the last couple weeks. But oh, the college football playoffs is at 8:30. Okay, I thought it was at 8 o'clock. Actually, I'll turn on the They got a big what is it? Michigan State and Duke's on, I think, right now. Um yeah, the 49ers, I don't I don't see them getting to the Super Bowl. Because it seems like either Brock Purdy can't stay healthy. Well, thank God that, Christian McCaffrey hasn't gone down. Like, he's been healthy this year. But watch, I'll get Christian McCaffrey next year, and he'll screw me over like he did last year. And he'll get hurt, and he'll be out for like 7 weeks or some crap like that. I don't know. I don't, like, high risk, high reward with George Kittle. I know a few weeks ago, I was looking up George Kittle, and every year he's been in the league, he's always been hurt. If he missed a week or 2 weeks or the season or 4 weeks or 5 weeks, George Kittle is a very risky fantasy draft pick. I stayed away from George Kittle just because I knew that he can't stay healthy and Christian McCaffrey can't stay healthy. And I can't remember I think there was a couple times that Christian McCaffrey was there and I didn't select him because I didn't want to take that chance again. There's Jonathan Taylor, which I didn't select because I was telling my co-host Dadpool, I said, I'm scared to take Jonathan Taylor because this is before we knew that Danny Dimes was going to be freaking Indiana Jones, and just play awesome. Oh, it's actually Michigan State and Kentucky that's on. Okay. Oh, it's Duke and Kansas. Okay. But anyway, because I told my co-host Deadpool, I was like, I don't think I'm going to select Jonathan Taylor because who's on that team besides Jonathan Taylor? And I'm just like, You know, that was before we knew that. Oh God, I forgot his name. Um, oh God, the tight end for the Colts. God, I just had a brain fart. Oh God. Um, jeez, I can't. I forgot his name. Oh my God, I feel so like. Um, but that guy, the rookie, I can't even think of his name. But Alec Pierce is playing great. So, but yeah, now I'm thinking like, oh, okay, maybe next year I might go after Jonathan Taylor or something. So, but I don't know. I don't like you guys in the chat. Like, if you could like what is one team do you think is going to cool off here? Like you see maybe towards the end of the season, like they're hot now, but like once it gets to like the last like 3 weeks, let's just say, um, they're just going to just fall apart. So, um, hang on one second. Um, I see Bryce Young. Oh, you think the Colts is gonna? Yeah, that's. Yeah, I could see that too. I could see the Colts. I mean, I got the Colts beating the Chiefs this week because I just don't see how the Chiefs defense is going to stop Jonathan Taylor. Um, man, I just like. How can I say like when you say Bryce Young, like I feel like Bryce Young could play like this if he could just like, man, just be consistent each week. Bryce, like the Panthers could be really good. I feel like they're almost there. If they could just like turn the switch on with Bryce Young, like I feel like the Carolina Panthers could be interesting next year. I mean, they got McMillan, they got Xavier Legette, Doddle's really good. If they could get some defensive help, offensive line help, man, I tell you what, Carolina might be like this year's Colts or maybe the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks has been a very underrated dark team, like a dark horse team. But Sam Darnold played a bad game because look who they were facing. But I think the Giants could be scary next year. Like I really do. I feel like the Giants could get. I think they're like suffering from like offensive line. If they could add like maybe another guy on defense, maybe two more guys on defense, or you know, obviously maybe make a trade for another wide receiver. I said that, you know, I just don't know what it is with DJ Moore. I had just a weird feeling. I thought we were going to move DJ Moore in the trade deadline. But there was a lot of rumblings that maybe Buffalo was looking at him. But I'm just saying, like, could you imagine, like, Jackson Dart throwing to Malik Neighbors and DJ Moore next year? Oh, Justin Fields to the Panthers? Ooh. Ooh. Well, obviously it's a backup, right? I mean, do you see... Is Bryce Young going to be there next year, you think? So you have, like, Bryce Young as the starter and you have Justin Fields as the backup? I think that would be a good... I think that would be a really good, you know, 1-2 punch. I think that's pretty decent. I mean, I still feel like I'm a little pissed off still that Justin Fields, like, left my Bears because I was, like, really high on Justin Fields, but... Bryce Young to the Saints. You know, that's funny. Like, I think that's who I think that's how my co-host said possible. I could see that. I could see Bryce Young a Saint. But I think the Saints are probably going to look to someone in the draft, maybe. I don't know. I could see, like, Kirk Cousins, like, with the Saints. I don't think he's going to stay in Atlanta. I think... Oh. I think my co-host, Dadpool, and I don't want to speak for him, but I think he said maybe Kyler Murray to the Saints. I think the way Jacoby Brissett is playing, how good he's been playing, like, I feel like you've got to stick with Jacoby Brissett. I think the whole Kyler Murray project is probably coming to an end. I do not see Kyler Murray being a Cardinal next year. Maybe the Saints. Kyler Murray to the Panthers would be interesting. Like, oh man, if Kyler Murray throw into McMillan and Xavier Legette, I thought this is the year Xavier Legette was going to finally get going. Like, I thought he was going to be a receiver where everybody's talking about. Like, you know, maybe not like a Puka or something, but, you know, like just a receiver where it's like, wow, Xavier Legette had another great game. You know, he had another great game. So, but yeah, I like going into next year. Wade Jackson Dart came along. I think the Giants is going to be a very interesting team to watch. I'd be very interested to see who they get as the head coach too. So, but I might just stay out for a couple more minutes and probably call it a night, and then we'll be back next Tuesday. I'm hoping that Dadpool will be on. Hopefully he'll be feeling better. Oh, Lane Kiffin to the Giants? Isn't he going to possibly take the LSU or Florida job, though? I know someone asked Bill Belichick, I don't know if it was like after the North Carolina game, if he would be interesting about going to the New York Giants. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think Lane Kiffin could be a really good NFL coach. Straight shooter. Question for you, like, where? I mean, obviously, if you follow college, almost say college basketball, college football. Where does Brian Kelly end up? Do you think he ends up, like, if Mississippi needs a head coach, you think, like, Brian Kelly? I don't know. I just was like, oh, Penn State? I was not big on the whole Brian Kelly thing. And I was trying to tell my friends that. I was like, oh, he's coming from Cincinnati. Cincinnati's so good. Yeah, who does Cincinnati play? You know, that's why they're 8-0. They play like NIU. They play like Miami, Ohio. It's like, of course you're going to be 9-0. Look at the teams that you play, you know? And I was like, I don't like this. I just don't like this hire. And I was just so glad that he left. So I'm goes to LSU, and he still can't win at LSU. He goes to a, oh my god, like dumpster fire. But yeah, I could see that. I could see Brian Kelly winning at Penn State. I mean, there's like so many teams that are, I feel like that's in the Big Ten. It's so weird even calling it the Big Ten anymore. That definitely I could see Penn State beating. And I feel like Penn State, well, I don't know. This is just kind of like, I think Penn State gets better recruits than LSU, though. I think at the same time, so I could see like, um, you know, that being a good fit. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But but anyway, I think that is going to do it for me tonight. Thanks for everybody popping in. I know it was an earlier show. It was just me tonight, and I'm hoping that Dadpool will be on next week. So we'll do the show at 8 o'clock when he pops on. Hopefully he'll feel better. So anyway, hopefully everybody has a great night. Good luck this week in fantasy football. Good luck to your teams who you root for. Hopefully all your teams get a win except for like the Packers, which will be great. But anyway, have a great night, everybody. Take care. See you next Tuesday.